Hey guys, and welcome to episode 11 of Awakening the Italians, here with AC Milan. Joining you back to the 20th September 2015, and it's our second episode, I think, of Season 2. I join you back here today for a game away at Napoli in the Serie A, which we'll get onto in a bit, but it's probably going to be our biggest test so far this season. We've only played, since the last episode, which was the home game to Bologna, opening game of the season, we've only played 3 other games, 2 in the league and 1 in the Europa League group stage. I'll show you the Europa League group stage, like the group we got paired with, and also the fixtures. Before we get into the game, like, I don't think there was any transfers. There definitely wasn't any more transfers in, but if you want to have an overlook of that, go back to the last episode, because that was all shown. A lot of signings in there. Probably another 4 or 5 guys left on loan. Not any ones though that you guys would know. I don't think any of them are really going to make it. So I suppose they're not as relevant. Just a quick little thing I'd like to say just before I get into it. If you can hear roadworks in the background, you might be able to, you mightn't be. I'm not quite so sure. But that's just because there are major roadworks at the moment on my road. So I'm very sorry about that, but I'm not sure whether it'll come through. Hopefully it won't. Anyway, that was just to get that out of the way. So I'll firstly show you the Europa League group we were handed, which wasn't the best Europa League group you could get. Like, we got Feyenoord, Bate Borisov and Legia, which really is a tricky group. Like, we should get through it. We were first seeds. Actually, the way it's put out there is the way it was seeded. We were 1 Feyenoord, 2 Bate, 3 Legia, 4. But all quite even teams. And as you can see, both of the opening ties were draws. Us playing away at Feyenoord, where when you actually probably look back at it, that was probably the hardest of the 6 games we're going to play in the group stages this year, is away at Feyenoord, because I'd fancy us at home to Feyenoord and home and away against the other 2 teams. But so we should be able to get through that. But I've seen easier groups in the Europa League. As you can see quickly here in the Serie A, we started off very well. 3 games, 2 wins, 1 draw. We scored 8 and only conceded the 1, getting a good 7 points on the board early on. And I'll come to it in a bit, but if we win today, we could possibly go top of the league if certain results go our way. But we are away at Napoli. It's going to be an extremely tough game. Napoli, of course, had a decent enough start themselves. 2 wins and a defeat in their first 3 games. Who did they lose to? It's not coming up. That's not great. But anyway, as you can see, Juventus have had a not a great start, actually. They've played 3 games, won 1, drawn 1, lost 1, losing to newly promoted Perugia. Can't say I've heard of these guys. They seem to have gone on this rapid rise. Bloody hell, they were in the Serie D in 2010. Got promoted from that, got promoted from C2 first season, then spent 2 seasons in Serie A C1, and then got promoted last year from Serie B, and are making a good fist of it, beating Juve in one of their first games. So a rapid rise to fame for them. Pretty low-key club, suddenly bursting onto the scene. Although it does look like they've had a dramatic rise. Okay, they were a Serie A club. And they obviously went through just financial troubles or something. I don't know why. But they've put a massive downer and then have suddenly charged back into the ascendancy. Anyway, looking at our fixtures since last time, which was the 2-0 win over Bologna, which was an excellent win. Ricardo Zivkovic getting a brace on debut. They had a man sent over early on. Quite comfortable win. But not as comfortable as the next game we played, which was travelling to the Olimpico to play Lazio away from home, which is renowned to be probably a tricky enough game. But we won it 6-1, and I'll actually show you the goals for this. I suppose it adds a little bit something extra to the videos, that you guys maybe can see how some of the goals panned out and how they went. As you can see, absolute domination, though. We were 4-0 up after around an hour. Then they pulled one back, but then we scored two late enough goals to make it 6-1. Here's the first one. Bonaventura swings it in, and it's going to end up getting to Marlon here, who strikes it away from around 6 yards out. Nobody is following him, and he gets his first ever goal for AC Milan and his first ever start for AC Milan. He did make an appearance off the bench in the first game, but this was his first start, and he managed to bag a goal, which was fantastic. This one was a very nice, very well worked goal. Bonaventura scores it. De Jong with a little cut inside to Ings, who another cut inside ball, and Bonaventura runs onto it and slots it away to make it 2-0. I was thinking this was very good at the time, 2-0 up against Lazio, thinking happy days. But I really didn't think that we'd go on to score many more. But Desciglio found Bonaventura, Enriquez, and then Bonaventura. And it was a lovely little 1-2 between Bonaventura and Enriquez, which allowed him to find the space to pass it to De Jong, who had made a surging run into the box, very unlike Nigel De Jong, and then managed to strike it away. So fair play to the guy. But that did give us a 3-0 advantage in the game. And it just kind of went from strength to strength, really. Enriquez now, he's De Jong. They end up getting it out to the left. Yeah, they do. Finds Yarmolenko at left wing back, who swings it in, and Enriquez is not going to miss that sort of a chance. That was his first ever goal for AC Milan. A lovely little AC Milan move, and capped off with a nice little finish to make it 4-0. Now, this was our only goal conceded, and it was a bit of a sloppy one, really. Basta manages to put it in. Not great defending there from Zapata. But it was one of those, it was a lucky kind of deflection, and he was on the back post for a rebound. So you couldn't really look into it too much. And at this stage, we had brought on Mbai Niang, because I was looking to give him games this year, because Niang's a good player. I think he's got plenty of potential in him. But, we got to monitor the guy well. And we gave him appearance off the bench here when it was 4-0, I think. And he managed to pipe up with 2 goals, the first of which being here, which was a lovely first time finish after Enriquez had kind of played him through again. Enriquez had a really good game this time, not just because of his goal, but he set up, as you can see here, setting up an awful lot of the goals. I think he had 2 or 3 assists at least in this game. But that was in the 75th minute to make it 5-1, and then just a minute afterwards, and I thought Lazio were going to go here and possibly make it 5-2, but Munoz with a fantastic tackle on Basta, and it's going to end up finding its way to Niang again, who slots it home for his second goal in 2 minutes, which is a pretty superb effort considering the first goal was his first ever goal for the senior team. To suddenly go on and bag another one. Honda there finds Niang. This time he does take a touch. Not the best bit of keeping by Marchetti, but found its way into the back of the net and gave us that 6-1 victory, which was something fairly special, I have to say. Enriquez, as you can see, played a 9.4. Just excellent average ratings across the board. Nobody playing a poor game there in a 6-1 win, which was a demolishing performance. But then we had that international break, which also can be a bit of a sickener, especially if you've got off to a decent enough start and kind of are feeling, in the groove, I suppose. Which kind of took the wind out of our sails, because we played at home to Genoa in our next league game, and we drew 0-0. And it was as if we consumed all our goals in that Lazio game, and we didn't have any left in the tank. Now, as I will show you in a bit, we have been suffering woeful injury problems as of late, which didn't help, because we've got a few guys, especially Angelo Enriquez, I think, has picked up a fairly long-term injury. And as we saw in the last game, he played a part in a lot of those goals. I think 4 in total he had a part in. But in this game, it was just a matter of we couldn't take our chances. We had the chance to win the game. Like, we had 57% of the ball, 25 shots, hit the woodwork twice, had 1 clear-cut chance and 5 half chances, but we just couldn't find the finished product in the game. And they held firm. They didn't play very attractive football, although they had 2 half chances themselves. And they weren't really in the game, but they had a good defensive strategy. I think they were another one of these 5 at the back Yeah, although that seems to be a common thing over in Italy. Like as it's showing, like this formation that we were using, this one here has been the only one that worked for us. Like that the kind of fairly elaborate 4-3-3 that we were trying to play in the first season just didn't work, and it just didn't work, and we couldn't score goals, and we were losing games. Like I think it was that reason alone. Like it was only because we switched to this tactic that we mounted a charge for third place near the end, and even then we just fell up short to Napoli, of course. And then lastly, it was the Europa League game at home, or away even, to Feyenoord, which was a 2-2 draw, which wasn't a bad result. We picked up the lead in the 5th minute. Danny Ings managed to get his first goal for the club, which is always good because I was a little bit dubious of whether Danny Ings is actually going to do it this year. Like, moving from Burnley to AC Milan is quite a big move. But, so you could, I suppose, find some sympathy for him if he didn't really pull it off. But he's had a quite nice start to the campaign here. And Desciglio puts it in, and it's one of those near post ones which Ings manages to get the flick on at the front post, and it again gets up in front post as well. Poor enough keeping in that sense. As you can see there, not a great bit of defending on that left-hand flank. That's sometimes what I think will happen with Yarmolenko playing at left wing-back. He's not really a natural defender still, so I do think there will be opportunities that will be gotten, I think, from that phase of play on for their right hand players and for Yarmolenko. And as you can see there, Ottavio did put the ball in the back of the net, and this was really kind of not against the run of play, but on the counter-attack, I suppose. It's Juan scoring right on the stroke of half-time, 2nd minute of injury time in the first half. As you can see there, though, Nicola Lili, who was playing with a really poor goal from his point of view. This one was a bit better from us because I was really concerned when they kind of got onto the counter-attack once again. But this time Yarmolenko was not to be beaten, and then found Honda, who put it down. Honda ends up scoring this goal. Yarmolenko gets back to Alex, and we managed to just control the ball, settle it down for a little bit, which seems to be a good part of this tactic. It was a poor ball in initially by Yarmolenko, but we got the bit of luck that they hit it straight out to Manoz. Manoz and Desciglio managed to have a few passes together, and Desciglio with another terrific ball in, his 2nd assist of the game. This time it was Kazuki Honda who managed to make the run in and net it to make it 2 apiece. So as you can see, Desciglio did win man of the match because of those 2 excellent crosses. In terms of the actual match, it was probably a draw was the right result. We had more of the ball, a few more shots, but 3 clear-cut chances each. 5 half chances for us, only 2 for them, but they looked dangerous on the counter-attack. I'll give them that. And I think getting a draw away from home at Feyenoord is definitely not the end of the world, as I said before, because I think it's probably the toughest group game we're going to have in the Europa League. As you can see, we've got Bate, Legia, home to Feyenoord coming up. Like, that's just not the same, really. It's not the same intensity and not the same in terms of difficulty. But this is our real first test away at Napoli. But the problem is our squad is so depleted at the moment, and I'll show you now who's out. Look at that list of injuries. Samuel Umtiti, he was out for the first game of the season because he picked up a 5 to 6 week injury just before the season started. He's out for another 2 weeks still. Angelo Enriquez out for 2 months. He's already been out though for 2 weeks or something, I think. Yeah, 2 weeks. So he was out to 2 to 3 months at the time with a torn hamstring, which he picked up on international duty as well, which is even more of an annoying one. Albert Tassi is out for 2 to 3 months as well. Now, he's a backup defender, so it's not the end of the world him, but you still don't want to see a backup defender go for 2 to 3 months, because then you're really left in the lurch, especially when another one of your central defenders, Christian Zabata, is out 9 to 12 days. not quite as bad. Jeremy Menez again back up 6 to 11 days. Ignacio Abate, another backup, 2 to 4 weeks, but he's been out for much longer. And Diego Lopez had a lower back stress fracture and now 4 to 5 weeks. Now that was picked up again, I think 2 weeks ago. So he was out for 6 to 7 weeks at the time. So actually, we've got a few guys with not bad injuries or are kind of coming back from injuries, but I'd wish like people like Menez were able to kind of swap their injury length with Enriquez, and same with Abate and Lopez or something like that, because we really could do with people like Lopez. Because it means that somebody like Nicola Lili is having to start games at the moment, and at the age of 22, I don't think he's quite ready yet. Although picking up a clean sheet against Genoa, and apart from that second goal, looked fairly solid against Feyenoord. But I just would be concerned in very big games like today that he won't be quite good enough at the moment. Anyway, if we'll have a look at the player stats just to start us off, I know it's only 3 games into the season, no sorry, 4 games into the season, but Zivkovic and Niang both have 2 goals, there are 5 or 6 guys on 1. Provider, Bonaventura's already got 3, Enriquez and Desciglio have 2 apiece. Average rating, Enriquez 7.9, Desciglio 7.7, De Jong 7.63, Yarmolenko 7.47, and Marlon 7.47. So good start from some of the new signings as well, which is nice to see. We've already gone through the league and all that, so we're going to get into the game now. And I'm going to be looking to use, I think, 3D replays for today. I'm going to just test it out, see what it looks like. Obviously, if it doesn't come out very well, I won't pursue with it. I just think it does add something a little bit extra, a little bit better to the videos, so you can see the goals in 2D and then 3D. Anyway, the team we've gone for today is Lili in goal, back 5, Yarmolenko, Alex, Marlon, Munoz and Desciglio. Neusteider and De Jong in midfield, with Bonaventura playing off Ings and Zivkovic. But due to the injury list, we only have 8 of our 12 substitute places filled, and even then Christopher Azier, he's a youngster in the first place, so he wouldn't be really playing anyway, but he's still got an injury. He's just only a day or 2 left in it. And a lot of these guys are quite jaded. Somebody like Timothy Kolodziak, one of the new signings, has only just come back from injury. So we just don't seem to be getting any luck at the moment with the injuries, which is unfortunate. But I suppose it happens. It's part of football. But it is quite unlucky that we've picked up so many injuries, and a few of them are to quite key players. Like I would much prefer Diego Lopez playing, Umtiti playing, Enriquez playing, rather than the people we're having to line out at the moment. Anyway, first 10 minutes have gone by without much happening. We've had the early possession, but not a single shot away, and that has finally been broken by Napoli, who finally got one. Yeah, it's been not a great start. Half an hour gone now. This game has flown by without anything happening. Now, first, Desciglio gets a warning. That's really been the highlight of the half so far. It's whizzed by. No team, like the possession is fairly even. Nobody's really had any conclusive spell of pressure. 1 minute of injury time, and there you go. First half is over. Now that isn't a good first half whatsoever. So we're going to say we can still win the game and try to tell them we have faith. It's not the best team talk I've ever given. There's not much we can do tactically though, because there's not many guys we can bring on. Like, we've only Mbai Niang as a striker option, which we might even have to look into. Despite me not really having intentions of playing him in any sort of big games this year, we might just be forced to play him. We've kind of, if Ings and Zivkovic continue to not perform like they are today, they've just had a few off days. Especially with somebody like Zivkovic, it's going to happen because the guy's only 18 or something. He hasn't scored since that brace on the first day, which it's not worrying me overly, but I'd prefer if he managed to get a goal. We're going to actually take him off and bring on Niang. I'm going to bring on Kazuki Honda also for Bonaventura, who hasn't turned up today. But still, we're 63 minutes in. There hasn't even been a half chance to either team. But here we've got our first chance. And Callahan, oh, bloody hell, that is such a cheap goal. Jose Callahan has scored. I think it's a poor bit of keeping by Lili. Or Liali. Is it Lili or Liali? Or either. I'm not sure. I don't think it's the best bit of keeping though, I have to say. Comes in Callahan. Oh, bloody hell, it's a very poor bit of keeping. It's not a bad header, flick on header, but nobody firstly marks him, and then Lili with a fairly suspect bit of keeping. And with 70 minutes gone to, I've only had 2 shots on target and 2 shots and 0 on target. It's quite concerning for the rest of this game, and if they score now again, I think it really is game over. Higuain is going on a mazy run. Callahan, the goal scorer. Oh no. Oh, bloody hell. What a save. Good save. Reaction save more than anything. I think it's a terrible miss by Insigne at the back post. But nonetheless, we survived to live another day at the moment. Yarmolenko. Now, just take it down. Get a bit of possession. No, he doesn't. We don't seem to be keen on that whatsoever, and that's just going to be an over-the-top ball that Higuain's going to get onto, and should have scored. It's another good save, but we're just looking at 6s and 7s today, really. And there's not, as I said before, there's just not much we can actually do that's going to change the game around. I don't think Polly's going to come on for Nigel de Jong, but Polly isn't really the most creative player around, so. Oh no, we can't make an individual team talk yet. Maybe a chance. Manaz, Desciglio, Peno, get in! Fozzie Goulam, what a rookie bit of play by him, and we've got ourselves a chance. Who's taking the penalty? Is it Alex? Is it still Alex? Is he? It is. And he scores it! What a penalty! Pick that one out. And I think it's time to revert back to what we were. I think I'll be very happy if we can run away from Napoli here with a draw. So I'm going to tell them to concentrate. It's a good penalty, under pressure, and look at that. Boom! There is no stopping that whatsoever. And it is 1 each, and really an undeserved equaliser from ourselves. And here's Alex in an awfully strange position for a centre-back. Desciglio. Oh, it's hit the crossbar! Oh, I thought I was going to go in for a second. Desciglio finding himself in a goal-scoring place, a goal-scoring opportunity, and he hits the bar. But now we've got to make sure we don't let this slip, as there's a corner for Napoli. This game was finally taken to life late on. Jorginho, Desciglio with this time becomes the hero by saving it. Honda, a chance to break again. Back to Niang. Oh no, what a terrible touch. And it gets away from him. I don't feel it's quite done yet. It's not. Here's Manaz. Is there a last chance for us? Is there a last chance for Napoli? New Steuder. I'm on the new signing. Imagine if he pulled off a 30-yarder. Desciglio. Oh no. Oh! Niang! Niang! What a goal from the youngster! 2-1 AC Milan. Gets in there. Napoli do not know what has hit them. Two shots on target from ourselves. It bounces off Gökhan Inler, but what a finish from Mbaye Niang. Under pressure. Let's pack it in, boys. There is be more disciplined, drop deeper, stick to positions. I'm cracking out all the contains here to try and keep this lead. Oh God, there's still 50 seconds left. There could be a last chance for Napoli here. Mertens. Simi Forsaglio. Mertens. Just, yeah, shadow him. Jorginho. Guilanio? Mertens. Oh no! Desciglio does well. Niang. Oh, Niang, that was something a youngster would do, just not taking the ball down, just heads it on. I suppose it's wasted a bit of time though, and you can't exactly complain at the guy. He might have won us the game. Goulam now. Can we just hold our shape? We've dropped so deep here in this last minute or so. Jorginho, there it is. It is over to San Paolo. Napoli 1, AC Milan 2. And we have put our marker down early on in this season with a 2-1 win. And by Niang, we've turned it around late on. 1-0 down, looking the worst with 7 minutes to go. We got, I don't think it was a controversial penalty, but it was against the run of play, that's for sure, which Alex managed to dispatch before a bit of a catastrophe from Napoli. It kind of hit off Gökhan Inler and into Mbaye Niang's direction, and he wasn't going to miss. The youngster has got incredible, he's got a good finish on him. His composure actually isn't great though, so I was surprised he kept his composure in such an instance. But now, 3 goals in 3 appearances off the bench, maybe I should give him a start. He might start against Torino, because I'm sure there'll be some tired legs in the camp going into that game. But an excellent start to the season means after 4 games we do sit top for the time being. In terms of the next live commentary, we're going to do it by month. So what's around that? It's going to be Fiorentina at home. So we've got another 4 games in between then and now. Torino away, Udinese at home, who both have pulled off very good starts to the season, 3rd and 2nd respectively. Bate in the Europa League before Bari away from home, a newly promoted team in Bari away from home before the Fiorentina game, which is going to be another tough enough ask, but maybe we'll have reclaimed a few of our players by then. Anyway, if you guys enjoyed this video, please do give it a like and comment. And if you haven't before, please subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys later. Bye.